tonight.
Hello and welcome to Tonight on Wednesday. On this evening's show, monkeys, actors and action time. But we kick off with Georgie, who experiences feeding time with a difference at Tropical World. Alan Hydes meets the Normandy veteran who became a huge star of the silver screen. And we need your help to make all the difference to a very special project in Sheffield. That's all on Tonight's Tonight. But we start by seeing how jungle girl Georgie Spanswick's getting on in the tropics after last week's close encounter with Amazonian fish. She has recovered from the harrowing experience, so today she's going to help feed the animals who live at Tropical World in Leeds. Now, I've seen the film which follows, and all I can say is, Delia Smith, watch out.
Do you know the animals here at Tropical World are a pretty pampered lot. Not only do they live in an incredibly authentic setting, but they have their very own catering corps. Yes, every day the staff here prepare special meals for their delicate palates of our 2- and 4-legged friends. Isn't that right, Paul?
That's correct, yeah.
Chief caterer.
Oh, yes. We do spoil them with a tendency to give them all sorts.
Yeah.
Apples, oranges, pears, bananas, kiwi fruit,
nice.
grapes, pineapple, grapefruit. I could go on forever with different sorts of fruits and foods that we give the animals.
Do you know I'm
here.
going to book myself in for breakfast tomorrow?
Well, you're welcome.
Who are we dealing with now? Who are we
Well, at the moment, we're chopping fruit for the tamarind.
Uh-huh.
We've got 9 of them, so it's a fairly large dish.
Right.
So we don't need to cut the fruit small.
Right. Because they've
That's
got
the way
very
they
small
prefer.
little mouths, haven't they?
And very small little hands to grip with. Yeah. So,
Whereabouts do you store all your food? 'Cause
we
you
do have
must
a
lot.
we do have a storage room just round the corner there. That's where we store most of our food.
Yeah. And what sort of quantities are we talking, sort of on a weekly or a daily basis?
Now that is an hard question to answer. As I say, on a daily basis, you would be cutting approximately, if I took a guess on this, maybe 20-25 kilos of food altogether.
Really?
Yeah, for all the animals and birds in here.
Tamarind delight, love.
Excuse me, you forgot the piece of Sir Easton's. There you are, the icing on the cake. Lovely mealworms.
That's ruined it for
Isn't it?
me.
Hey, love that. Very tasty. They just taste like prawns, you know.
So how do the animals react to you when you come round with your trolley, Paul?
Oh, they get really excited.
Yeah.
If they have knives and forks with them, they'll probably jump on the trolley and they'd start helping themselves before we even stop.
I get this
They
feeling
really don't get excited about
that
the
we're being
food.
watched.
All the time. If you
Yeah.
look about, you'll see birds up there or over there, and they actually do follow you about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
Oh, look at them.
Yeah,
I
they're
bet you are
gorgeous,
the
aren't
most
they?
popular guy at this point in time, aren't you, here?
I am. I really love these guys.
Come on, sweetie. Come on. Oh! Didn't even say thank you, you cheeky monkey. Come on, then. Where are you? He says, I can take it myself, thanks very much. Very independent, aren't they, Paul?
Yeah, yeah. Hello, babies. As I say, if you talk to them like children,
Yeah.
they're all right. They can sense confidence and friendliness inside you as a person.
Yeah.
And how you talk, they picture your voice.
Yeah.
Of course, there's always someone who just can't wait their turn. An unattended food trolley is just too much of a temptation for Captain Beaky, the resident hornbill. Go on, be a devil. Something from the trolley. Just help yourself. And another. Oh yes, it's just like spaghetti. Next stop, the greedy parrots.
Gently now, Jake.
So,
We could be here for quite some time. You coming down?
come on then, Jake.
Come on,
See how you're here.
Come on. Come on.
Oh, who's a good boy?
Will he chat?
Yes, he talks a lot, actually.
Does he?
Says such things as, hello, what you doing?
Hello.
Muttley. And now, I don't know who Muttley is.
Oh, Muttley. Should I go to him?
Yeah, he'll come to you now.
Come on, sweetie.
He'll get there.
Come on. Oh, very polite. So polite. Some of the animals here are a lot easier to please. Take these resident ants, for instance. They're more than happy with a little bit of greenery and some flowers. But what do they do with the greenery, Mick, once they've got it?
Well, they cut the leaves up into segments and then carry them down the rope and the vine into the nest at the bottom, and then convert the leaf into a fungus. They actually cultivate a fungus, which they then eat.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so the gardening ants, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, I think they're very intelligent. They can make their own food. And, if you listen very carefully, they play drum and guitars. You can. Mick, you should listen. They do. You can hear them now.
So that's where it came from. Well, now it's time for the latest in our series of personality portraits with artist Alan Hyde. We've seen Richard Whiteley and Sir Edward Heath in the past couple of weeks, but tonight it's the turn of one of England's most prolific actors. Alan made the trip down to deepest Lincolnshire to meet him.
Richard Todd was one of the great names from British movies of the 50s. The Dam Busters and Yangtze incident took him into a career that saw 50 films before he quit the big screen for the stage. He now lives just outside Grantham, and at the age of 80, he's no plans to give up acting.
You were born in Dublin, but you didn't stay there for very long, did you?
Well, I don't think I had much say in what happened to me at that time. I left when I was 6 months old, left Ireland and went out to India, because my father was stationed out there. And we were there for nearly 3 years. Came back to Ireland when I was 3 and a bit, and spent the next 2 or 3 years of my childhood in Ireland, and then we moved over to England.
So what we've got now, we've got the face all mapped out, got your features in. A lot of the things are in some detail. I've spent some time obviously focusing on your main features, and that is that your eyelids slant down at the sides, and that's one of the things which gives your face a certain amount of character. So I'm spending some time getting some detail into the eyes, and I'm leaving just a little white dot, which is where the light's reflecting from the window onto your eyes. So that really makes them, you know, round and twinkly, because you've got really bright eyes, really strong eyes. So just adding some tone into that.
He began acting at Dundee Rep.
I wanted to write plays, God knows why. I mean, I had a bent for writing at school, and I thought I'd write plays, although I knew nothing about the theatre. And that's what led me into the acting business, because I met a woman called Italia Conti, who said, well, dear boy, if you want to write plays, you ought to know something about the theatre. Come to my school. And the Conti School of Acting was a well-known thing. It still is. And so I found myself, all of a sudden, amongst a lot of acting hopefuls, wannabes. It wasn't really my setup at all. You know, I couldn't sort of get used to it. The fact that at the school there were a lot of girls running around in tutus and stuff like that wasn't my scene. But I apparently showed some sort of talent as an actor.
So there you were, acting, and then the war started.
War broke out on the Sunday, 3rd of September, and on the Monday morning I went across to St Andrews, to the university, and I went to the Army reception unit there and managed to get accepted as a potential officer straight away.
You joined the parachute regiment. You were actually in the forefront on D-Day. You were the first person to leap out of the plane on that day.
When I got to the airfield and eventually stopped by the plane I was going to fly in, it turned out that the pilot was a senior officer. And he said to me, I'm the senior officer flying tonight, and I've got the gen crew, so we're going in first. I thought, oh my God, because I was going to be 33. And I was jumping first, so I was going to be the first man out, which didn't please me at all. Actually, I was very lucky, because we got in with a certain amount of the element of surprise. It was just a fair amount of light flak. But by the time I was on the ground, the heavy stuff was going up, and a lot of those aircraft were being hit. Right. And perhaps if I'd been in 33, I would have been one of the ones knocked out. You'd been ones to catch it, yeah.
So now I've got the tone actually laid in there quite heavily. I'm using a putty rubber, and basically this is it's a very soft, kneaded rubber, and I'm taking out some of the areas of tone around the side of your jaw and along the edge of the face to where the light falls on it, so you can actually see, pick up some of the actual structure of your face. So rather than just putting tone down, I'm lifting some of it out again so that it really does have some substance to it. I suppose you're best known for your portrayal of Guy Gibson in The Dam Busters. I always fill up with that memorable line of, I've got some letters to write at the very end of the film. Can you watch it without feeling emotional?
Nope, it still gets me. I still feel a lump in my throat. The line, well, as you said, is at the end of the picture, and Barnes Wallis meets Gibson and says, is it true, all those men, 56 men? And Gibson said yes. And, but if they all knew what was going to happen, they'd still have gone. And then Barnes Wallis says, well, why don't you go and have a rest, Gibby? And he says, well, I'm afraid I've got some letters to write. And oh dear, yeah, it gets me now, you know. And I turn away and walk away, and there's that shot of a little figure sort of walking away into the distance, and the Dam Busters March welling up. It's a very,
yeah, that music is just so powerful, isn't it?
Wonderful.
Something about that film. What a lovely man he is. Well, we'll take a break now, but coming up, Alan puts the final touches to his portrait of Richard Todd, and he'll be here for the unveiling. And Cy Chadwick has the latest news from this month's Action Time Challenge. See you soon.
Amy's murder remains a mystery after a judge brings a trial to an abrupt end.
Is Michael the luckiest man around, falling 900 feet and walking away with barely a scratch?
The new Hyundai Accent comes with power steering, dual airbags and a 3-year unlimited mileage warranty. At £7,699, it's a large hatchback for the price of some small ones. What more could you ask for? Sorry, the World Championship Rally version isn't for sale. The new Hyundai Accent. Call 0800 981 981. Hyundai. Prepare to want one.
You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it, and you're gonna say, yeah. You're gonna say, yeah. I have truly felt those bubbles melt. Those bubbles melt. Oh, you know you should. Why can't all chocolate feel this good?
Have you ever felt the bubbles melt?
Go for the ride, this time is yours. Coca-Cola, enjoy.
Okay, you're gonna love this guy. Runs like clockwork. Time? 0620. He's finishing breakfast, and right now he's heading for the shower.
0621, he's in the shower. 20 Celsius, 53 seconds. 0622, he brushes his teeth. 20 strokes.
Is it the crispy golden flakiness? The lightly sweetened honeyness? Or the flaky hint of nuttiness? that makes Kellogg's Crunchy Nut cornflakes so irresistible.
0625, he's at the door. You can set your watch by him.
Kellogg's Crunchy Nut cornflakes. The trouble is, they taste too good.
Welcome back. Before the break, Alan Hydes was preparing the final touches as he painted a portrait of Richard Todd. So let's rejoin him as he moves to brush and palette to create the final masterpiece.
I'm just now going to start putting in some very fine skin tone. So I want to do this to begin with, sort of quite lightly, a bit more white into a bit more brown, just because I need a basic skin tone to work too, so that when I build the colours over the top, I can see where I'm placing the correct skin tones. You made the Hasty Heart with Ronald Reagan, didn't you? What was he like as a character?
Oh, he was super. He really was. He was a most charming chap. Very funny, great sense of humour, good actor. He was somewhat vilified when he became president because people talked about him being a B picture actor. He wasn't at all. He was quite a leading actor. He wasn't one of the greats, but he was one of the leading actors, and he was very good. And he was awfully helpful to me because he was the star of the film. He was the established man I was never heard of. You know, I'd come from rep. And he sized me up for quite a while, I think, before he made up his mind that I was... I hope it's one of ours.
And then came another breakthrough, an offer from Disney.
Walt Disney wanted me to play Robin Hood. I was quite insulted. You know, I was an actor. I was hanging from trees and all that sort of thing. And my American agent went practically down on his knees saying, please, please, please do it. Because, you know, the audience for this film will be the mums and dads of the next generation. Well, of course, he was right. But at the time, all I could think of was, you know, scampering around looking silly. And eventually, Walt Disney himself came over to England, and I had lunch with him at the Dorchester in London, I remember it well. And he persuaded me pretty well. So I got to play the first Disney picture. And then Rob Roy followed that, and The Sword and the Rose. So I had 3 very happy films with him. And he became a great friend. I mean, he really was. I miss him tremendously.
What I want to do now is actually build some real structure and some real character into the face. So I'm using a titanium white. I'm using a lot of it. I'm using a very, very thick, heavy white and putting a little bit of rose madder with it. And I'm actually building now. I'm actually using the strokes of the brush to follow the lines, the planes of your face. So it's really every area that I can see where your face changes, where you have angles and so on. I'm using the brush so that it follows that particular angle. So, for example, down the front of your forehead, then there's a line going down the front of it, but there's also one going across to describe this part of the front of your forehead. So it's really, really heavy paint that I want to build some structure with. So after Hasty Heart and all those movies, you were in Hollywood, working with all these top Hollywood names. Were you earning really big money then?
I got £7 a week more than my stand-in. I was on £25 a week.
£25 a week?
And he was on 17. I didn't grumble. I just thought I was bloody lucky to be, to have survived and to be around and to have gone back into acting and suddenly to have found myself starring in my first film.
But you're a man who obviously really enjoys his work. Do you think he'll ever retire?
Have you ever heard of a retired actor? They don't exist. And look at Johnny Gielgud, in his 90s, still going strong. Johnny Mills, nearly blind, very dapper still doing his one-man show. Richard Todd, no, we won't talk about him.
I'm trying to get some Payne's Grey so it actually shows the shadows at the side of your face. I've mixed it with various other colours, and it's, that's it, just pulling in some raw sienna and so on. It's just pulling some colour under your face. And it's really now bringing your jawline out. The whole thing's really, really starting to work as a structure. So you've been awarded all kinds of things, such as Golden Globes and an OBE. How much do those kind of things mean to you?
Oh, quite a lot. Quite a lot. I mean, my first thing was an Oscar nomination way, way back for The Hasty Heart. That was very nice to have. And I got the British National Film Award and various other things like that, which made me feel pretty good. The OBE, well, it's nice to be remembered. I sort of regard that as being a long service and good conduct medal. I mean, I was 70 odd when I got it after a long time.
Well, look, it's been really good talking to you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, Richard Todd, OBE, and Alan Hydes join me here in the studio. We're going to see the final painting, aren't we? Are we ready?
Shall we do it straight away?
Are you ready, Richard?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Big moment here. Woo.
Oh,
there he goes.
There we are.
Good. Yeah. Yes, I recognise him, you know. No, that's very good. It really is. Thank you very much.
I think it looks uncannily like you. And you've even got the same clothes on. Did you do that on purpose?
You mean I'm a sort of eerie-looking person? Uncanny.
No, honestly, I think it's very, very good indeed.
Yes, it is. I think so too. I agree with you.
Are you pleased with it, Alan?
Well, I think, again, it's kind of got the presence of Richard Todd there. He still looks a glamorous man, doesn't he, even though he's 80 now.
I have never seen so many women so excited about you coming today to do this.
Yeah.
Everybody talking about you coming. Well, they've all fainted with shock and they're all swooning. But I do think it's very good. It's sort of quite commanding. You've still got that film star presence, don't you think?
Yes, I don't know if it's film star or Second World War.
A lot of Second World War films. What do you plan to do with this?
Hang it.
In your house?
Certainly. Good Lord, yes. Good Lord, yes.
Have you had many paintings done of yourself before?
A few, yes, I have, actually.
Yes. Do you enjoy
my poor wife gets a bit jealous because there are 3 or 4 of me hanging around in the house. And only one rather little one of her, and she's the beauty of the family.
Alan, you should have done. Mrs. Todd.
She is very beautiful.
She is indeed. Yes. Well, once again, I think very, very good, and thank you very much, Richard, for taking part and for coming along today.
Thank you.
Thanks,
thank
Richard.
you. Thank you.
Thank
only
you.
one thing wrong. Didn't meet Julie Cooper.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Well, let's join Cy Chadwick and the Action Time team, who all this week and next are taking on a challenge in the centre of Sheffield. As ever, we can't make these projects work without your help, and here's the number to ring if you'd like to volunteer or if you can donate any of the things we need. Here's Cy.
Well, it's snowing in Sheffield, but thankfully this month's Action Time challenge is indoors. And first on the scene to help out are our old friends, Johnson's Paint. This is the workshop of Cottage, a charity that, if you remember from our appeal on Monday, is run by volunteers and New Deal employees. Now, their task is to refurbish and recycle old nursery equipment like cots, pushchairs and safety gates. These are then distributed free of charge to people like Debbie, who are living on low incomes. Well, we've got a fantastic donation here, and we've got 2 fantastic guys who are brothers. Tell us who you are.
I'm Stephen. I'm Simon.
And where are you from?
Square Carpets at Doncaster.
And why have you come along today?
We saw the appeal on the Tonight programme on Monday night.
Oh, excellent.
Thought we'd do our bit.
Brilliant. And what have you brought here? Just talk us through some of these samples.
Right, basically, they've picked a barrier matting. It's for the entrance, for walking in, wiping your feet on, very heavy wearing. An office carpet, another heavy wearing, easy clean carpet. And for the mess room, where there's going to be water, they've picked an anti-slip floor cover.
Right, yeah. Now, I've been around the premises here, and it's quite a big place, so it's obviously a sizable donation. Roughly ballpark, how much is this going to?
It's about £1,000.
They'd set them back £1,000. It's not going to cost them a penny. Wow, that's good. Thanks very much to the guys at Square Deal. Cheers. Thanks for coming along today and talking about that. We've got Peter, the workshop manager here. Peter,
Hi.
how you doing?
Fine.
Doing a great job there, stirring the paint. Tell us about this.
This is from Lakeland Paints. It's an environmentally friendly paint, solvent-free.
Excellent.
But we've had most of our paint delivered from Johnson's Paints. They've
Brilliant.
supplied everything for the workshop.
Is there anything that we still need that you can think of off the top of your head?
Yes, machines. We're short of
Right.
machines.
Oh, machines. Well, we're going to talk about machines shortly, so I'll leave you to... Great coloured paint, that, actually, isn't it? Really nice, matches your eyes.
Yeah.
Follow me down here. There's a great man called Martin. Hi, Martin.
Right.
You're from BCTV?
No, try again.
BTCV.
It's a common fault. No, it's a British Trust for Conservation Volunteers. Normally we work outdoors, but as you know, weather being such as it is today, we're coming to help out. Nice to work inside in the wall.
That's brilliant.
With the boys doing the decorating up ladders and on the wall.
Yeah, excellent. Well, you're doing a fantastic job. Thanks, guys. Thanks very much. Cheers. Now, just take a look over there, will you? At the top of the wall, you can see there's a pipe which starts at that end and it goes all the way down to the bottom. Now, it's a very important piece of our jigsaw because this is the sawdust extraction system, which is bagged up at the bottom there. And I'm reliably informed that even the sawdust doesn't go to waste here. It goes to a good home just around the corner. Now, here with me now is Kate Smith. Kate, you're the project manager here. I'm excited about this. I don't know what it is or what it does, but it's fantastic and it's big.
Well, it's a lovely machine. It's all singing, all dancing machine. It'll do wonderful things with woodworking.
Wow.
And it actually belongs to a private individual in Sheffield who saw in the press about Action Time and said, right, well, I will let you have it on long-term loan for £1 a year.
£1 a year?
£1 a year. So he's got the pound and we've got the machine.
That's best quid you've ever spent,
Absolutely,
I reckon. Just
yeah.
talk us through some of the other things that we still need.
Right, well, we still need some of the smaller machines like the pillar drill, the bandsaw, the belt sander, planer thicknesser. These are the small machines where we can use them alongside this machine,
Sure.
so a lot more people can work them and we can get a lot more done, a lot more renovation work.
Do they need to be brand new?
Not necessarily.
Preferably, but...
Yeah, preferably would be nice because they've got a longer working life.
Sure.
But good
Reconditioned.
reconditioned ones or ones that have just become sort of surplus to requirements, you know,
Yeah.
for firms sort of saying either closing down maybe or changing its mode of operation.
It's these sorts of things, and obviously all the work, the hard work that everybody puts in here, that is vital to the success of Cottage, isn't it?
Well, it is actually. We have a very long waiting list for some of our goods like cots and playpens and high chairs, and we can make these to British standards on these machines. We have long waiting lists, 140 people waiting for a cot. Best
Wow.
way to do.
It's a high demand.
Very high.
Well, we hope our viewers won't let us down. They never do. You never do. Give us a call on our number. It is, as always, it never changes. 0500 200 150 from Kate, from me, from everybody here. Goodbye.
Well, please keep those offers coming in, and thanks to everybody who's helped so generously so far. We'll keep you up to date with developments all next week. OK, that's all we've time for tonight. Tomorrow, our special guests are Rhys Dinsdale, Warren Mitchell and The Searchers. Calendar's coming up next. But from me and the team here, good night.